Hey, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Matt Thompson. I'd like to welcome you onto Thompson'sTake.com and into the first ever installment of a show I like to call Thompson's Take, where local sports take top priority here in the Kansas City area from the high school level on up. Now, as I sat down and I thought about my first ever show, right, so I'm putting this out here for everybody to hear, I thought it'd be really neat to have an athlete feature. And so tonight I'm featuring a good friend of mine, Andrew Dougherty, a former Blue Springs South High School standout football player who then went on to Oklahoma Panhandle State University where he just graduated. And tonight I want to ask Andrew some questions about the impact that sports and specifically football have had on his life, some of his coaches, some of his teammates, and how he feels that sports will propel him into success here in the near future. So without further ado, Andrew, how you doing, man? Thanks for joining me.
Pretty good, man. Appreciate it.
It's good to have you here. Now, for those
Thanks
of you
for having
who thanks, man. For those of you who don't know much about Andrew, he grew up in a family of athletes. All of his brothers played football for Coach Greg Oder at Blue Springs South High School, but it really started long before that. Now, your dad did get you involved in sports at a pretty young age, right?
Yeah, I started sports probably right around the time you could start sports, to be honest. But, yeah, I've been always influenced by sports. My dad played sports all through high school and also college.
Where did he play, man?
He played at Washburn University. He signed to Fort Scott Community College.
Yeah.
Played there 2 years and signed with Washburn. Played receiver there and finished off his career. Got a degree. The rest is history.
The rest is Dougherty family history in that. Well, these guys, the Doughertys, man, I tell you what, they seem to know everybody around Blue Springs and certainly good guys, man. So. And then you went in. Your brothers all played football, so you guys all played for South, like I said. And Aaron actually played with you. Had an opportunity to play with you at the college level, right? So.
Yeah, that's right. Aaron did he came to Panhandle my junior year. Decided to take a trip to come up there. Liked it. Loved the feeling, the fact that I was up there with him, and he decided to come up there, and I got to play my last couple years with my brother. It was a pretty good experience.
Yeah, man.
He was always around my room, though, so I had to get him out of there.
Yeah.
A little family time. But, no, it was great. It was great. Actually, all my brothers played up there at South high school football. Only two of us went. Me and the youngest one went to play college. But it was a great experience playing with them all in high school, though. Not a lot of people get to get that opportunity to play with the brothers.
And you were, by the time Aaron got up there, you were a captain for OPSU, right? We'll throw that in there. I know you're modest. But
I was something small captain.
Small captain.
But no, yeah, I was a captain. Yeah, it was good taking a leadership role. When people know me, I try not to do too much talking. You know me, Matt. I'm not really too much of a rah-rah kind of talking guy to pump everybody up.
Kind of that quiet leader, lead by example on the field.
But just me, taking that role helped me become a vocal leader. So yeah, it helped me get some things to me, to my personality, to help me become more vocal. Yeah,
man. Well, the reason I wanted to have you on here, you've done quite a bit. Whether you're really modest about it, but you've done quite a bit with football. You obviously led South or helped. You had a hand in South State Championship in 2006, and you were an All-State player there in 2009. I think you guys were the state runners-up in 2009, right? So
yes, sir.
Man, did real well under Coach Oder there.
Jag till we die.
Now, but I want to – Oklahoma Panhandle State is – Blue Springs South's got a really big football program. Football's big. Friday nights in Blue Springs, if you're not watching high school football, you're sick or not into sports. I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
But you went from a pretty big program and you signed at Alabama State right as a wide receiver after doing a lot of primarily playing defense in high school, correct?
Yes, sir.
And then went up to Alabama State. You were redshirted there, and you transferred to OPSU, which is a smaller school. Now, how'd you like playing for a smaller college?
Actually, it wasn't too bad. It wasn't, it being smaller wasn't really an issue. It was just, getting to know my area around, and when you get to know the people, it's just great, outstanding people up there. Not knocking Alabama State. I have some of the best friends in the world down there, but it was just great community, really family-oriented. It was just great people. The people were just great, brought me in, and it actually helped athletics-wise, going from Division I to Division II. I mean, It was a little slower, a little bit slower. I was able to, I was
More learning involved.
more learning involved. Correct. It helped me out a lot. It was great in all aspects. Athletic wise and meeting people. I just got to connect with all kind of people all over the world.
You think you kind of grew into that leadership role? Were you a leader in high school, you think? And then you kind of just continued to grow even a little bit more into the vocal leader?
Yeah, actually, it's crazy about that how that works. I feel like even in high school, I've always been pressured to be that leader, like, being vocal.
Rah guy,
yeah,
right?
Yeah, being a talker all the time. And I was a leader, projected as a leader in high school, but
sure.
I wasn't the leader I became in college. Like, it just kind of developed. I developed those leadership qualities. Finally started to open up my mouth. Finally started, making myself accountable, making other people accountable when I got in college. Like, those things I didn't do in high school when I was a leader. I just kind of took that role, took
Sure.
the title,
And
that was it.
I'm sure that had a hand in you becoming a captain up there. And let's take a step back here. You said your dad had such an impact on you. Did he coach any of your teams growing up?
Oh, yeah, definitely. That was one of my favorite memories, actually, when playing for my dad.
No excuses made, right?
No excuses. It's one of the roughest things ever to play for your parent. If you ever played for your parent, you know what I'm talking about. Gosh, you can't. I mean, you're always wrong. You're always going to be yelled at. I mean, but it's, you know how that goes. You just can't be biased. But it was great. When I look back on it, not a lot of people get a chance to play for their dad like I got to, and it was a great experience. I only played for him 1 year, but it was one of my best years. He's actually coached a little league team. He's coached football and South Suburban football in the Southern Kansas City area for about 10 years.
Oh, so he's still coaching?
No, actually, he's not coaching right now. He stopped.
Okay.
He stopped when my youngest brother went to college.
But he stayed for all the brothers to get through.
Oh,
he
waited
all the
to all
brothers.
of us. I mean,
absolutely,
great dad.
fantastic.
He waited for all of us to, get through little league football, then middle school, and then when we went to high school, then he decided to take a step down so he can be more involved in our athletics and our schooling and our life. But yeah, he coached for good, 9-10 years. While he did 7, 8, 9-year-old ball, C division. Then he did 11 and 12-year-old ball for A division. That's when I got to play for him. It was a great experience. Good guy, great coach.
Got you ready to go play at Delta and then sent you on your way. Now, when you were in high school and you started to make a name for yourself, right? He still had a hand. Was he offering you advice, sitting there watching film with you or anything at home?
Yeah, I mean, he's always always had his own his own way of trying to tell me how to do this and do that. I mean, yeah, I take pretty good criticism to him. He probably thinks I don't, but no, it was never that serious watching film or anything like that. But he always coached me up, like small talk.
Sure.
Anytime he could, like, hey, try to help on this or work on that. But he was never, the great thing I like about it, he never really pushed it too much. He just did a little bit here and there and help me out, and then it would kind of make me hunger to ask him, hey, what can I do better? And that's what I really liked about him. He wasn't one of those crazy sports dads.
Absolutely. Well, you mentioned the word hunger, right? So like hungry for competition and ready to go. Now, how was the brotherly competition with all of you playing? You guys motivate one another, a little bit of trash talk going on, or was it more you can do it, hurry up and get off the weights so I can get on there? I can hear Alex telling you now, I need to get on there now. Yeah. I'm going to be bigger than you.
Yeah, I wasn't too much
Alex
like that.
got big. Your brother Alex got big in high school. He was. I think he was benching about 600 pounds by the time he was 10.
Yeah, he's big little brother, little big brother. That's what we call him. You don't like that too much, but everyone understands. But no, it was never too much. It never actually got like a competition too much. I tell you what, me and my brother Aaron, I mean, we never had too much competition on the field. Mm-hmm. We actually, tried to encourage each other on the field, like, hey, let's do it. Let's get going. We tried to pick each other up on the field. In the weight room, however, that guy did used to challenge me in the weight room. We always used to do some trash talking, but it was good, fun stuff. It was light trash talking, nothing too major, but yeah, it was a little bit of competition there. And working out, doing workouts and stuff in field workouts.
Absolutely. So you went in, your dad coached you when you were younger. You went in, you played for Coach Oder and all those guys at Blue Springs South. And take me back here. I want to go back to the day you signed your letter to play Division I football and the emotions you were feeling that day and just how big a day that was for you.
The emotions, Matt. The emotions are undescribable, man. Because actually, funny story.
Tissues in your pocket that day?
Huh?
You have tissues in your pocket that day? Yeah.
Yeah, I might as well have some tissues in my pocket. It was a pretty emotional day. But what made it so crazy is that a lot of people, kind of have an idea of where they're going to go before, they get going, the signing and all that stuff. They kind of have an idea. With my case, I actually had no idea where I was going to be. And it's crazy because for a while I thought I was getting ready to, get one of these walk-on letter of intents and walk on somewhere because I didn't have anything to the last minute, actually.
Okay.
I signed to Alabama State. I'm sorry, not signed, but verbally committed to Alabama State about a week before signing day.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, a lot of people didn't know that. They,
I had no idea.
I've always had letters. I've had letters from all kind of schools, but the money thing was the issue. Scholarship. What are they offering? How much are they paying? Didn't get too many scholarship actually offers. I had always had letters. A lot of people don't understand that they get letters. I had scholarships from this school and that school. Those are letters. People get letters all the time. Not a lot of people get scholarships.
Right.
People forget about that.
Well, that's the key here. Sports are great. But at the end of the day, not everyone is going to go past the college level, and you've got a chance to maybe do that, and we'll talk a little bit about that later. Mm-hmm. But not everybody has that chance to play professionally after college, so the biggest priority for a lot of students is scholarship money and getting their education.
Right.
And with that being said, let's talk just a little bit about that education side. You just graduated. What? Remind me again your degree.
HBR. It's health and physical education and coaching. My whole big deal is I wanted to give back to my community. Sports is my life. Matt, it's in my blood.
Yeah, always.
I want to go to grad school sometime within the next year. If I don't get this whole football thing worked out,
right.
Thank God for giving me these opportunities to further extend my football career. But just in case I still want to be involved. I want to, be a teacher and a coach. I want to either coach high school football or coach college ball.
Following in Dad's footsteps.
Follow my pop's footsteps.
That's right.
Something like that. Yeah, I just want to do things that I know, football is really what made me a great person, It's more to it than the field. Develop me as a person and as a man so much more. Other athletes out there, I know you guys understand what I'm talking about. It's crazy. And I just want to do that, and give back to the small kids, to the kids, back to the community.
Absolutely.
Coach them up, facts of life, discipline, hard work, and how much it transfers from the field to the business world.
Certainly, yeah. And it's really helped you to probably obtain certain jobs over the years. I know you worked all the way through college, and that discipline factor, really, sports teach a great deal of discipline. I wouldn't know because I'm probably the worst athlete to ever grace a field. Yeah. You guys used to call me heart and soul growing up. It was all effort with no results on the field.
But yeah, natural discipline though, Matt. Natural discipline.
Naturally, it just comes naturally, right?
No, it's something else.
It's wonderful though that you're wanting to do that. I think that's great. And could you see yourself down the road coaching for Blue Springs South, or you want to start with just the real young kids? You want to work your way up, or would you even want to be like a physical education instructor at a school?
Could
you do you think you could compete with Coach Oder's cul-de-sac? Yeah. I didn't know. I never knew he didn't have hair. I saw he always was wearing a hat in high school, and he walked by one day and he didn't have a hat on. I looked over. I was like, "That's Coach Oder," and his hair left in the late '90s.
A lot of people say.
I don't mean to diss on. And Coach Oder is one of the best coaches in the Kansas City area. For the record,
one of the best coach I probably ever had. I mean, that guy has it down to a T. But I can see myself doing all those things. I'm more motivated on getting in hands on with the kids. Like I want to do straight coaching. Probably I'll do Little League later on in my life when I retire, but I really want to get into the whole competitiveness, high school, or college.
Jumping right into those levels.
I want to jump right into high school or college. I want to take that Coach Boone role and remember the Titans. I want to take that Coach Boone role and remember the Titans, turn the school around, change lives. So that's kind of my thing.
That's the goal, huh? Well, I heard this. This is secondhand. So your brother Aaron, I saw Aaron a while back, and he was telling me that OPSU actually offered you a coaching position right out of college. Is this true?
Yeah, actually they did. And it was a great blessing. It was a great opportunity. I was actually excited about it.
Sure.
they offered me a position coach to help coach the DBs, actually coach the safeties, because that's what I played.
You're pretty fresh out there.
Pretty fresh out. Yeah, they wanted me to help coach the safeties, coach the DBs, and I was ecstatic about the position. Like I was really excited. Just the timing was off,
Sure.
No doubt in my mind, great people up OPSU. Love the coaching staff. Love my teammates. Love the players. I mean, it's just a great environment. Just the timing. I wasn't sure if I was ready to go back up there and start coaching there. I actually just started working at Enterprise,
Sure.
working on my sales side of things. I want to own a business one day. I want to start a community service deal with a business. So I'm trying to get my business sales side of things done.
Getting the business side taken care of.
Yeah. I want to make sure my kids are taken care of.
Go ahead and make sure that the whole family's taken care of.
Yeah.
Right?
But I'm interested in that. So I've been working at Enterprise since January. I just want to save right now. The thing is, if they'd offered me that position, I asked them. I thank you for the opportunity. I want to. If they still have that position open later on down the road, I will definitely take it.
Sure.
I just wanted to, get my money right, save, get my financial situation right,
taking care of
then jump right into
all kinds of those issues that everyday students are facing coming out of school. And one of the biggest ones is, everybody's having to pay off student loans and take care of all that stuff.
Oh yeah,
it's
I can testify about that.
We'll swear you in here in a second, right?
Ramen noodles and and Kool-Aid jammers for a living.
Absolutely. Well, I tell you what, though, you mentioned you had some other stuff going on, and I'll go ahead and bring this up now. You have an opportunity to maybe play professionally in the Canadian Football League.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you know how pumped I am about this.
I know you're ecstatic.
I know. For a long time, right?
You never fail to let me know how how excited you're about that, Matt.
I got to support the Blue Springs South alumni and let them know it's. Your accomplishments are solid, buddy. I'm proud of you. I grew up. Someday when you're famous, I can turn around and point and say, I grew up around the corner from that guy. he used to juke me out, and I didn't even. He juked me out of my shoes at least 100 times by the age of 12.
By the age of 12. Oh man, you're my guy. But actually, that was great. I actually didn't even know I'd get a call about that. Actually,
now tell us a little bit. Sorry to cut you off there. Tell us a little bit about the team that has some interest in you and how the process.
Oh yeah, well I got an email from a coach for a Canadian Football League, CFL League, and this is a little bit right after I graduated in December in Panhandle, so a little bit after late January. Got an email about interested in wanting me to come down to Dallas where they were holding a tryout. This is one of these CFL teams for me to come down there. They wanted to get it. Check me out, get a look at me and all this stuff. And I was, of course, I was all about it. I love football, I'm all about it. And
if you could physically play football forever, you'd play forever, right?
Oh man, I'd play until 6 feet under.
Yeah, why not?
I'd play until I can't play no more. But I was a coach from the team Hamilton Tigers, in the Canadian League. Pretty good team. My dad actually knew a guy that he played in school with, played for them, actually one of his good friends. And he told me, go for it, you only go through life once. He said he's sending you an email, he's inviting you to come, go for it. So, I went down there to Dallas April 10th, went down there, did try to do my best combine,
Sure.
Pray about to do it the best I could do, It went pretty good, as far as I went. I felt like I could have did better, but it went pretty good though. It's the best I've ever done. And, the coaches seemed pretty interested. They asked me, if I can get them a resume and email it to them and send it to them. And it was a good sign. And they said they'll stay in touch with me. But it was a great opportunity and a blessing for them to even give me a chance to play professionally.
Certainly to keep playing after all the hard work you've put in and becoming a captain in college. And
you just love the fact of me being a captain.
I love it, man. That natural born leader. Well, and I'll say this for you, since we're, I'm obviously pretty pumped to have you on, being one of my friends that I grew up with. But you are one of the most modest athletes I've ever been around. You never toot your own horn too much, and always a joy to talk to. And you wouldn't know that you have such talent for football unless you brought it up, and you don't. So since you're so damn modest about everything, I'm going to go ahead and toot the horn for you.
Oh, that's why you're here. You're my guy. That's one of my best friends, man. Man.
So that went well. And in Dallas, you said it was you went out at combine, right? So what for those that don't know what a combine is that may be listening, I doubt they are, but tell us a little bit about the combine process and what you had to do during the combine.
Oh yeah. It was more of a tryout more
Okay.
than anything, but it was treated like a combine.
Okay.
Tryouts consist of more of like it was both in one, more like drills and stuff for skill sets that what you can do in these drills transfer to a game. That's more like a tryout. Combine, use straight testing. They do have those drills too that you have in trial, but it's combine's more of testing. But we did a little bit of both. Went down there. We did a broad jump. We ran a 40, standard combine stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Ran a 40. Did a height and weight, wingspan. Did a shuttle run, the 5-10-5 run. That went really well. And also had a couple DB drills that I did. I went down there for as a safety, a strong safety. They call it a halfback down there, which is great. I had to make sure they didn't sign me up for running back.
Yeah, that's what I thought of.
And I had to make sure, hey, are you sure I'm not playing running back? Because I can't do that. But no, they call the safety down there halfback.
Interesting.
And it was crazy. That's what they call it.
The damn Canadians.
And we did a whole lot of drills. We did one-on-ones. The one-on-ones went pretty well. Which crazy. I had to adapt because the Canadian League, the receivers are running before the ball is snapped.
Really?
Toward the line. Yeah.
Really?
So, you almost got to change your whole technique. They're running at the line of scrimmage 10 to 15 yards off the ball before the ball snap, and they can run left or right. So you got to really be on your toes. It actually sharpens your skills a little bit.
Work on that speed factor.
You got to work on all that.
Yeah.
It was pretty good. It went really well. Just did a bunch of DB drills, ball catching, ball handling drills, and then, just the test, the standard test, 40-yard dash. I ran a pretty good 40. Had the shuttle run, broad jump, and height and weight, whole 9 yards. It was pretty fun. It was a great opportunity. I met a lot of great guys and a lot of outstanding athletes that I know that are probably going to be playing up there.
Yeah.
So it was good. It was good.
Well, man, that's outstanding. It's really great that you're pursuing that and keeping your options open. I think it's fantastic, like I said. But let's move right along here. I keep coming back to you wanting to have an influence on younger athletes. That's what I keep wanting to come back to here. So if you could give young athletes, say a freshman in high school is getting ready to start where you were at Blue Springs South, what would you tell them? What advice would you give young athletes that want to strive not only to play at the high school level but go on to college and maybe have some opportunity after that?
Man, that's
It's a deep question.
That's
right?
a great question. I mean, you could go so many ways with this question. But yeah, man, young freshman in high school, getting ready to start his high school career, obviously, which is going to make a huge impact on his college career. Man, I'd tell him to, the sky's the limit. Hard work and discipline. Always, at that age, you want to keep a good head on your shoulders, so discipline is everything at that age. A lot of kids have the ability and then didn't have the head right.
Sure.
Just the hard work, the willing to do what it takes. And if I can go back as a ninth grader, the work that I put in off the field, would have been tremendous compared to what I did. The work that you do outside the field is what makes you
quite a bit of sacrifice involved.
Yeah, a lot of
playing
sacrifice.
sport.
I would really tell that ninth grader, head on right on your shoulders. Don't let, if you want to be the best,
people, right?
Don't let anything deter you from that.
Yeah.
Discipline, of course. Things that you do outside of the field, is it going to help you become a better player on the field? Those stuff are huge. Those little things, it's crazy how big they are. And then, the second thing, the hard work that you put in off the field. If you're willing to go that, if he's willing to go that 9 yards, because, I ain't going to pressure anybody being a college athlete, because it's a lot of work and a college athlete's a job. But yeah, if he wants to, be the best in high school and be the best in college, the little things you do off the field is everything. It's crazy. All the workouts, on the field is just not enough.
How many summer mornings you think you got up, went to South? No, I'm curious because I know they have just a really extensive summer program. They had you guys up there to beat the heat. Sometimes 5:30, 6 in the morning, working out and getting your work in, and then you'd go do your extra workouts afterwards.
I could write a book. I could write a book about it. I don't know how many summer mornings. somewhere between 100 and 800.
See, the difference was I wrote for the paper. We got donuts in the morning.
Oh yeah, I remember that. You were good at that. You were a
I'm great at
journalistic freak. You were great at that.
I'm great at eating donuts, my friend.
You're great at it. You and me both.
Donuts and pizza. Shout out to Mr. McCleary.
Shout out to Mr. McCleary.
One of the best journalism advisors I could have had. But no,
take me back.
I can talk all day about high school. And
I could go on for days. Probably. But yeah, man, that was summer. I tell you what, and they said, people used to think it was a rumor, but Blue Springs South had one of the hardest conditioning weight summer programs in the Missouri area.
Now, who's in charge of that conditioning program?
Or
if it's even still the same person.
A number of coaches. Then,
several of them.
My guy, one of my favorite coaches, besides Coach Oder, he's right now. He's doing he's the guy just got promoted. I can't think of my boy's name. Gettings, Ryan Gettings, my man. I don't know. I had a brain fart, but Gettings was always in charge of the weight conditioning program. Man, it's like my second dad right there. Wonderful guy, great guy in and out. I mean, I wouldn't be the player I am at today if it wasn't for him. He just was a mental coach. He knows how to reach you mentally and make you the better player on the field. That guy was a conditioning freak. Probably run you out of your lunch, run you out of your shoes. But he got me right, man. He got me right. It's not a myth. I tell you, Blue Springs South conditioning program is no joke, especially in the summer.
Yeah.
They're serious about their weights.
I act like I was out there with you. Yeah. It's a real difficult program. I know everything about it. Yeah.
It was crazy. But yeah, those guys, but they know how to instill order. They take pride in what they do, and that's what's huge. They win football games. Blue Springs South, they win football games not a lot because of talent, but because they have discipline and great order in their program.
Everything is technique. Good player great, right?
They make a good player great. They're technician freaks. I mean, we beat teams way talented than us just because we just knew how to execute, and players were disciplined. Everyone knew their job. I mean, the mental game is so huge. Football is just 90% mental. It's crazy, but they knew how to get that down, man. They got me ready, though, I tell you that. But, I mean, there's a couple times where I was out there and I was like, I don't know about this. I ain't going to lie to you.
Sure.
It was pretty bad.
Sure. Well, you talk about high school and the pressure and how much of a job being a student athlete can be. But at the same time, it probably helped to keep your mind. And you also talked about keeping your mind right. And it probably helped playing football and having things to do all the time. You always had school. You had your job was to be that great student athlete. So that probably helped to keep you out of trouble, right? You've talked a lot about meeting some great people and staying out of trouble, keeping that head on straight.
Yeah.
And I think South does a pretty good job of that. I know you guys used to have football. They used to cater breakfast, didn't they, for you? The big biscuit in Blue Springs. Shout out to the Big Biscuit.
Shout out to the Big Biscuit. Yeah, but
a lot of team bonding stuff going on there.
That is the key. I mean, it's crazy, Matt, because how much that is a key factor. Keeping your team chemistry off the field transfers to the field.
Sure.
It's crazy. It sounds crazy, but keeping these team bondings. I mean, what I remember saying to Coach Oda the other day, I was like, football is it's a frat. It's a fraternity. Yeah, it's a brotherhood. So the more team chemistry you keep out the field, all these meetings, keeping everybody in sync with each other, like Big Biscuit meetings. We had Big Biscuit in the morning, position group meetings, keeping intact with your teammates, that transfers to the field. It's crazy because when you have that chemistry off the field, the chemistry on the field is just so smooth. I mean, and everything you hear about it, it's hard to say, it's hard to explain, but I mean, there's people out there who know what I'm talking about. It's just when you got that great chemistry off the field, you play with outstanding chemistry on the field. It's crazy. It transfers over.
Sure.
Nothing. But yeah, so you always got to keep in touch with your teammates off the field because it plays a role.
And everybody keeps everybody in check and on and off the field. Yeah. No, that's great.
Yeah.
Well, let's talk just a little bit more about high school, then I want to certainly talk just a little bit more about your career at OPSU, and then we'll wrap things up here. But okay, so you had the opportunity to play in 2 state championship games.
Yeah, we did play in 2 state championship games. Actually, we lost my junior year. I think it was 2009.
Yeah.
We went to state. And, I played that year. Started on defense. Played a little bit on offense, but mainly defense. And we actually had a crazy season. It was like a story season. First game lost against Rockhurst on ESPN. Just got destroyed. I think it was like 42-14. Lost our second game to Ray-Peg, a team we should have beat. And then we come out strong, going on a 8-game streak. Play Rockhurst in the finals to go to state. Beat them in the playoffs for a touchdown to go to state. I mean, it was just like a fairy tale season. Go to state. I remember it like it was yesterday, one of the biggest on the line. And then, lose to a St. Louis team, Hazelwood Citrus, a team we should have beat in the last, I want to say the fourth quarter.
Ouch. Yeah.
To them, we were second, got runner-up. But it was a great experience, but I'll never forget it, man. I cried like a baby. Because I know we deserved to win that game, but we let that game. We let it get to our heads. We let it get to it.
But yeah, playing in state really probably helped you get ready for college in those bigger games. Now I want to ask you, we're gonna move on from Blue Springs South here and talk just a little bit more about your college career. Mm-hmm. When you got up there, how big of a difference in speed? The game changes, obviously. You're around guys that have been playing their whole life just like you, probably a lot of them just as dedicated as you and ready to work and ready to win. How much of a change did you notice from high school to college?
Oh, huge. Huge change. The game speed, the size, the athletes, it was just a 360, man. High school, you got people on there that's good. You got that one, a couple, D1 players, and you got a couple good players that can play somewhere, and the rest of everyone else, they're pretty good, decent average. But in college, they're just all, they all have something to bring to the table. Not saying, everyone in college, is good. They are, in a sense, they are good because they're
good enough to get
ball.
there, yeah.
Yeah. But not saying they're all outstanding players, but everyone has something to bring to the table when it comes to, being in the line of scrimmage. like everyone had their own. But, yeah, it was huge. The change in speed, everyone was, 2 steps faster in college. That's what I say, 2 steps faster in college and high school, especially when I was at Alabama State. I saw, I was playing with NFL players then.
Sure.
Yeah, I had a couple of guys in there that, are playing right now, for the Ravens, and then for what was that? Atlanta, the Falcons. I got a friend playing. Yeah, so those guys, those guys were just natural athletes. They just needed the coaching, the technique and all that stuff. But yeah, it was huge change. Definitely had to make a huge I definitely had to adapt.
Right.
I definitely had to adapt from 6A high school football to Division I and Division II college ball. Yeah. But it was a good adaptation. I thought I adapted very well. It was good. It made me become a better player and a better person. It was really good. It was a great experience. The athletes. I could talk about it for days.
No, hey, that's fantastic. And you've always been one of those guys to put your teammates ahead of you and be sure to mention their accomplishments. I'm gonna toot the Andrew Dougherty horn again. You ready? Yeah.
Don't toot it.
We're doing it. Yeah.
Don't toot it.
Who led the team in tackles last season per game?
Last season, it was my good buddy Tanner Halford.
Oh, it was okay.
I was leading tackles until very. I know where you're getting at. Yeah. I was leading tackles actually until the very last 3 games. And my buddy Tanner Halford, shout out to him, a great linebacker, just got he just got in the Oklahoma Hall of Fame for college football.
Wow, yeah.
He was great outside. Had a nose for the ball. Great guy, outstanding friend. He passed me up toward the end of the season, but
maybe I need to check my facts before I try and toot this horn again.
No, it's good. I
saw a tweet.
Yeah, I remember that tweet. I was in the middle of the season. I was leading tackles then. I was leading tackles around that time. Then at the end of the season, my boy Tanner, I think he had me by about 6 tackles, but I did take second.
There you go.
In tackles, so you want to go ahead and toot my horn. I don't like tooting it, but I'll let my buddy Matt do it for you.
That's right. Well, So what do you think? You just graduated. What do you think you're most proud of with your time as a college player? You know, obviously still have a chance to move on and play, hopefully here in the near future. But what are you most proud of? What about your time at Oklahoma Panhandle State?
Honestly, I'm proud of how I developed as a person. I love the fact that I got more insight on the game and off the game. I just became so much of a better player. I'm so much of a better player, now than I was in high school. I love the fact that I developed in that area. It was killing me for a long time. But as a player and then as a person, most important, I learned so much as a person just from football. And that's the thing I want to give back to people, to let them know you develop as a person so much. And football is crazy. And then, I'd like to say, the end of all, my friends. The friendship is endless. There's a lot of best friends that I have now that I would have never met if I didn't meet them through athletics. And we're all staying in touch. I'm going to friends' weddings. I'm going to friends' frat party. It's just everything after we hang up the cleats. I got lifetime friends off this.
Yeah.
Lifetime opportunities to coach. It was crazy. It's great. Those things that makes it all worth it.
So I think as we sign off from the first installment of Thompson's Take here, I think what we're taking away from this is that sports go, at least from my take, sports can go so much further than just between the lines. You've listened to Andrew talk about all the connections he's made, opportunities that sports have given him over the years, family bonding opportunities, friendships that'll last a long time, job offers. Sports, playing sports, parents out there, if any parents are listening, get your kid involved in sports, get them involved in any sort of activity so that they can make these connections and continue to work hard. And the possibilities in the future are endless. Thank you so much, Andrew, for joining me here on the first ever installment here. It's been a lot of fun just talking to you, reminiscing about high school a little bit. I really appreciate it. Matt Thompson here with Andrew Dougherty, signing off on the first ever installment of Thompson's Take. Thanks, guys.
All right.